Hello, welcome to the show. So let's get into what I was doing. So I was looking back at my old podcast 4 years ago. So apparently I started this podcast. My very first podcast episode was Leo Rush is Right and You Are Simply Wrong 5 years ago. Okay? 5 years. And I probably would have gotten a lot further had I not kind of taken a break and people just like fell off, like, oh, well, she ain't posting, so they leave or whatever the case may be. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm back, more consistent, right? So I'm going back and I'm looking at my topics and stuff like that, because some of this stuff I could like bring back up and touch on again. And that's basically what I'm doing right now with this one, which is the top 10 women in wrestling. I recorded this 4 years ago. And it was so funny because the way I was doing the podcast 4 years ago, first of all, I sounded like I was about to pass out. And that's because it sounded like I couldn't breathe. And then I was like rambling or whatever. Now, I don't feel like I ramble. I think what I'm talking about is in context now. And I'm a little bit, I would say, seasoned. So with that being said, here's the top 10 women that I chose for 2020. Now I did this as a year in or a year in review type joint. So the number 10, this is 2020 first. Number 10, I had Bayley. Number 9, I had Sonya Deville. Number 8, I had Big Swole. Number 7, I had Ruby Riott. Number 6, I had Ember Moon. Number 5, I had Becky Lynch. Number 4, I had Sasha Banks. Number 3, Naomi. Number 2, Bianca Belair. And number 1, Asuka. That list, I was like, wow, okay, interesting list. Interesting list. I was really singing Sonya Deville's praises. I did do a podcast on her. And how she was at one point she was kind of getting some momentum. She was dominating, and then I don't know, as usual, I don't know what the fuck happened. So I said, you know what? Who would be my top 10 women wrestlers now as of August 2024? It was very difficult, guys. I had to go to WWE.com and look at the roster. And I'm realizing that no one jumps out. There is like, outside of the people that you probably could guess are going to be on my list, there aren't that many personalities like on the list from 2020. So with that being said, and I'm going to try to give an explanation. Now, I'm making this list with no real thought in mind. I'm just saying top, as I guess in my perspective, people who I want to see, people who I enjoy on TV, not such as much as quote unquote work rate and all that. Number 10, I put Jada Parker. I included NXT because NXT is one of the more popping promotions. Jada Parker has become a breakout star, not because of her wrestling, but because she's a pretty girl with a fat ass, and her ass is so fat that she uses it a lot in her wrestling moves. Also, she's very comfortable on the microphone. I will give her that. So I put number 10. And I mean, she's fun to watch. She's fun to watch. She's getting there. She's getting there. Number 9, Tiffany Stratton. They put a rocket on her. To the moon, right? To the moon. Number 8, Nia Jax. Again, if I haven't posted it by now, and you probably haven't heard it, or you have heard it by now, I also felt that Nia Jax was a pillar of the women's division. She is one of the better re-signings. She is probably one of the only re-signings that has made an impact this year since returning to the WWE. Rhea Ripley. Obvious reasons. Rhea Ripley didn't have it. She found it, and that it is her sex appeal. Her wrestling's fine. She's a great seller. Her mic skills are mediocre at best. I could deal with it. But people are sexually attracted to her, men and women. And as long as she sticks to that elusive, you don't know what I like type shit, she'll be as over as the day is long. Because y'all a bunch of horn dogs. Number 6, Lash Legend. Believe it or not, Lash Legend is doing fantastic in NXT. She really, I could tell, has been working hard. Her kick, that big boot she do, looks fabulous. Her clothes look good. Her presentation looks good. She is beautiful. I'm loving everything Lash Legends is doing. I could see her on the main roster, and I could also see her being put in a stable with Bianca, Naomi, and Jade, because anytime somebody bring up a black woman in WWE, they either say they're the new Bianca Belair or they're Naomi. Lash Legend is Lash Legend. That woman is an individual. There's nothing that the other ladies are doing that compares to what she's doing, and she's not doing anything that they're doing. They're very unique, and I think she's come a long way. Number 5 is Naomi. Naomi is always going to be in my top 5. Always. She is a pillar, a stalwart, and she's being taken for granted. She is a Hall of Famer, definitely. No question. Number 4, Jade Cargill. Although she busted on the scene, big fashion, pops all day, she's over simply because of her character. You all are focused on, again, work rate, which shouldn't even be a factor when it comes to this magnificent specimen of a woman. She should just look good, come in, clean house, and leave. That's it. What Roman I'm not drinking. I'm telling you. It's this Invisaligns. What did Roman Reigns say? He said, wreck everyone and leave. That's it. Number 3, I put Bayley. Bayley is always going to be a pillar. She's a pillar. She's a stalwart. Her character has been a whole lot better since being a heel. Y'all claim she needed a much needed character turn, so now she's a face. And unfortunately, it did her no favors because her reign sucked. But I will always put respect on Bayley's name. Number 2, Athena. Athena has been relegated to Ring of Honor, but Athena is doing some of the best work she's ever been given the opportunity to do that we all can see. Why this woman isn't on AEW Dynamite TV is egregious, and the explanation is fucking stupid. And I will remind you what the explanation was. Tony Khan said he's going to get with the CEO of Ring of Honor and see if he could use her on AEW. That came out of Tony Khan's mouth. Okay? Her character work is stepped up. Her wrestling has always been fantastic. And she has literally settled into her own. You can see where she found her voice. She found the hot spot. And it's been working for her. She's just on a show that no one sees. Number 1, my girl Bianca Belair. She always going to be number 1 or in the top 5 somewhere. You could guarantee that. Bianca Belair is a total package. I don't give a fuck what nobody say to me. She got the look. She got the style. She know how to talk. Although her talking sometimes it could be but for the most part she's getting better on the mic. Work rate out the wazoo. Character rate's great. Much needed. Spice things up a little bit. I wouldn't give a damn if she turned kaboom. I'm always going to go up for Bianca. Representation 1000% beautiful, fabulous. I need her to always have a belt. I don't give a fuck what the belt is. They better not never pull that shit they pulled with Naomi on Bianca. Motherfuckers I think they might run down on Triple H. She tried to do Bianca like that. Not that I'm saying Naomi's a pushover or whatever, but you're not gonna do Bianca like that. You already got her husband fucked up in a fucking tag team purgatory. You ain't gonna do her like that. You ain't gonna do her like that. So with all that being said, that is my top 10 for 2024 compared to 2020. And I got one for the men's too that I'm going to do. And I just thought it was a fun thing to look back on where my mind was at all those years ago. 4 years ago, actually. Time flies. Well, y'all tell me if you made it this far. Who's your top 5? Give me your top 10, or tell me if my selections are bullshit and I'm delusional, or you might agree. Who knows? Get in the comments. Do your thing. Catch you later.